With the rise in AI over the last couple of years, Nvidia's had a huge impact on the market, and they just came out with earnings. So will Nvidia and their earnings be enough to save the market's trends? Let's find out. My name is Brian Cannon, and welcome to Markets in 5. All right, before we jump into Nvidia and its impact on the market, let's take a look at the S&P 500. As you can see on this longer-term chart, we are very much still in an uptrend. Higher highs, higher lows, nothing to be worried about here. We're above our 200-day moving average, which is good. So, all in all, this looks like a very good chart as far as maintaining an uptrend at this point. We've got our levels that we're watching that if should the situation changes or when it changes, we'll be prepared, but right now everything looks okay. So if we zoom in on that same chart, then you can see a little bit more clearly the impact that the 100-day moving average has had on the market. So it's very much respected this several times over the last year or so. And so I would anticipate that buyers would be watching this level very, very closely. So right now, again, we've had a little bit of a pull down in RSI, and MACD is crossed down, but it's still positive. So I'm not too concerned about that at this point. But really, as far as the trend and the uptrend, as long as if the market respects Nvidia and its impact on the market, then I think that it could be a little spark that has buyers continue to come back in at this level. If not, then we would look toward some lower levels from a Fibonacci standpoint and some support levels. Certainly, the 200-day moving average would be a good spot to look to re-enter if we do break that 100. But right now, again, everything looks good. We'll see what the next couple of days bring. All right, so there's a lot going on in this chart of Nvidia. So let's unpack this a little bit. We've had periods of a rising chart, and then we've had consolidation. Stock price rising, and then we had a breakdown. Rise, consolidate. So we had this one period of breakdown. So what does that look like? Basically, you see that the 50 crossed below, the 20 crossed below the 50 and started sloping down. The RSI went into negative below 50 territory, which is never really good if it stays down there for long. And then we had the MACD supporting that move down in the RSI. So, MACD went negative as well. So it broke below the 50, which has been a kind of a supportive back here, and then came down and broke the 200. Now, what's interesting is that's more than likely that stopped a lot of traders out. So there was a lot of traders that had stop losses in place, and then institutions came in and it started accumulating that stock. And then it was off to the next leg. You had a breakback of the 20 above the 50, and was supported by the MACD and had this next leg up, and RSI was very supportive of that as well. And then we consolidated these gains, and then we broke out to the next level on volume. You can see this volume level here was elevated, and that coincided with the cross up on the MACD, and that also was supported by the RSI move up. So it bounced off the 20 and went on our next leg up. So now we've been consolidating the stock for a while. And so it's come down and it's touched its 50-day moving average, but what happened? We had buyers come in. We had this large volume of buyers come in at this point. So, and this is pre-earnings. So I think there's a lot of folks out there that we're buying this level in advance of earnings. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, this is shot before the market opens. The earnings did turn out very positive, and more importantly, guidance moving forward looked very, very good as well. So it's very conducive to the beginnings of the next up leg in the stock. So if we can break back above this 50-day moving average and break out to all new highs, then I do believe that we're going to go on a next leg up, and I think that's going to happen. So, I think it's a fool's game to try to bet against Nvidia at this point. They are such a powerhouse when it comes to AI chips and AI computing power. They are at the heart of this move in artificial technology. So I don't think you want to bet against Nvidia at this point. However, you need to watch your levels. Obviously, we anticipated a breakout and a next leg up. But if not, and it takes this 100-day moving out, then we would look at our Fibonacci levels and we would look at various levels of support. But I would be very positive that if it came all the way down to the 200-day moving average, that it would be a screaming buy. So I don't think we're going to get there. I think it's going to break out and go to the upside, but we'll watch it closely. But I do think that if it does that, it could certainly swing the S&P and the NASDAQ positive as well. So I think Nvidia has a lot to do with what the market's going to do over the next several days. So we'll be watching. So with such a good earnings report, I do believe that it could be enough to swing the market, but we'll keep watching the trends. But if you have any questions, give me a shout and I'll see you on the next Markets in 5.